Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Sam the SLB, and alongside me today is the man in black, the third man himself, my buddy, my co-host from ATR, Rising Sun, Ethan. We are coming to you from above the ring, Ship It Studios. Ship It Studios. I got to get that out of my head, guys. Above the Bedlam Media's premier wrestling podcast, everything from AWWE worldwide. That is in front of my face too. I am reading a prompt. This is our first ATR episode, probably of the year. We're 6 months in. It's been a long, busy year personally for a couple of us. You know, Scott's been busy. I've been busy. Ethan has been busy with wrestling. But,
yeah,
buddy, have you on an episode with me? We're going to be doing this for a few months, probably the summer.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Me neither. But, guys, before we begin, please make sure you like, share, subscribe. Follow us at Bedlam Media and Above the Ring on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. We just had Double or Nothing a couple weeks ago. We also just had that same weekend King and Queen of the Ring. Both great shows. Both great shows, in my opinion. There was a topic I wanted to come up with, and I'm trying to remember what it was. We ranted about it on the post show. I should have written it down. Dumb me. Yeah. Before we get into that, Ethan, we still got a busy month going into June though. After the craziness of May, you want to run that down quickly?
Yep. So on Saturday, there's MLW Battle Riot. I know MLW doesn't get a lot of talk, so I figure I'll also bring that up. What else is it? So NXT Battleground on June 9th. The Sunday coming. Or sorry, the next Sunday, whatever that is. There's so many shows. I'm trying to keep fucking track. And then literally almost a week later, there's Clash of the Castle. That's Saturday, June 15th. Dominion's also on June 9th, by the way. Me and Sam will cover it on Rising Sun. At the end of the month, June 30th, there'll be AEW Forbidden Door. By the way, we know 2 matches from that show now. Yay. And TNA will have Against All Odds on June 14th. So I'm actually pretty excited for the month. It's going to be crazy.
Yeah, so the discussion, the thing that came up, and I'm trying to remember, I texted Scott, and it was very impromptu. But we were talking about things, quality, quantity came up. There's a couple other things. The thing that I think has come up recently, and Ethan, I think you see it a lot too, is the IWC. This is me addressing the IWC right now. Because you know who you are, and I know you, and you know that I know that you know you.
Love the Friends reference.
Actually, that's from Dodgeball. That was Ben Stiller.
Fuck.
But
good movie, by the way. Underrated movie.
Great movie. One of the best comedies of the 2000s. Definitely gets needs more love.
Sorry.
But the thing that had come up recently that we saw is obviously AEW hasn't had the steam it has in a long time. It is slowly picking up. I know Ethan and we might be the rare few who do enjoy all the products that come out. I don't get to watch as much as everything outside of AEW, but anything we watch, like New Japan, AEW, when I get to watch TNA, it's awesome. WWE is still awesome. There's still a lot of people who just disagree, who just hate the product. And there's a lot of talk about talent going back and forth. We could speculate on who. I mean, obviously we had Becky Lynch, who I think we said, and I think the Bedlam media consensus was pretty much, hey, Becky just sounds like she's going to be a mom. I don't think she has. There's probably talent she wants to wrestle over in AEW, but that's probably not her motif. That just doesn't want sounds like.
She ain't going to AEW. Get the fuck out of here.
Granted, with that kind of statement, I mean, we didn't think Bryan Danielson, he had no problems with the company. We didn't think Edge was going to go. He had no problems with the company. I mean, technically, Jericho never had any problems with the company until he wrestled Kenny, I think, the very first time. But I find it interesting. We're having this conversation. A lot of people talk about talent going to WWE or, AEW needs to just fold. I think it's really, really stupid statement. Really stupid statement. I think we need to revisit. Ethan, we weren't even friends at this point. Do you remember when 2019, 2018 even, the excitement of Jericho wrestling at the Tokyo Dome against Kenny?
Yep.
Ring of Honor really blowing up.
Oh yeah, the good old days of Ring of Honor.
All In. The announcement of All In.
The funny part is, do you remember that where Meltzer didn't believe they could sell 10,000? Oh, it was Ring of Honor, and Cody's like, "All right, bet we'll do it independently." I'm like, Dave, you owe him an apology.
I mean, yeah, especially after what? There's a 2018, so you're looking at 6 years ago now.
That's crazy. That was 6 years ago.
And then we go into not even 5 months later, the announcement of AEW. And what the hell was AEW going to bring?
Cursing.
That it would bring along, Bedlam Media, Above the Ring, very big player there. And there was a lot of excitement. I remember feeling this excitement. We were about to witness a new wrestling company. No, we weren't going to, not another bingo hall company. No, Siree Bob. It was going to be, they were getting a television deal. They were going to run pay-per-views. This was the real deal. Something we hadn't seen since I was 10 years old. Not even 10. I think I hadn't even turned 10 that year when WCW folded.
Was it no one?
2001.
I was 4.
See, exactly. Ethan wasn't even educated at that point. So fast forward to today. Let's kind of walk through the timeline here, folks. Up until I would say the Brawl Out. I think the Brawl Out's a good time frame for all of us here. AEW was solid. Solid, solid, solid. Not stopping this monster. Brawl Out happens. I think we have maybe about a year and a half.
Yeah.
Of more stuff that happened.
Yeah, the All In Brawl, remember? Brawl In.
Oh, that would be 22. 22, because 21 was when he came back and wrestled the first time.
Yep. Yeah.
Following year, 22. Yep. Then, Brawl In happened. And now we're where we are today. No. The product has shifted. Hasn't been great. But I will say it has been moving up in quality. It's not the greatest thing. It definitely lost a little bit of steam. They definitely I'm starting to feel like they're getting that Ring of Honor vibe now. Where, okay, maybe everyone wants them to be WWE. They're not going to be WWE. It's probably best they're not WWE. But they definitely have had their dream matches. The dream matches have come and gone. Now it's time to build some storylines, build some more characters, build some more in-ring talent. The ratings, yeah, sure. The ratings aren't great. They're not WWE, a company that's been there for 100 years, and pretty much that's like, I'm going to use the conversation we had the other day there, Ethan. Like Nintendo. Nintendo sells the Wii. Nintendo is the powerhouse of video game. I don't care what anyone says. In 1983, the largest video game company probably in the world, Atari, due to lack of trademarking and copyright laws for the gaming industry and so many people publishing games on that console and an overflooding of the market, crashed the market in the US. I don't know if Canada was the same way, but at least in the United States, crashed the market, almost made video games not a viable option for entertainment outside of PCs. Because PCs were starting to make their way up. People found they weren't just toys as people would see them. PCs were, you could work with them. You could type things up. You could do spreadsheets, your accounting software, write stuff, and then you can game on them. So there was more value there, as we see now 40-something years later. Market crashes in 83. 85, we get Super Mario Brothers and Nintendo. Nintendo has been a dominant force ever since. I don't care that they're not selling the same amount of Xboxes or PlayStations, which is kind of a lie when you think about it, because we had the Wii, which sold over 100 million units. They had their lull too. They had their 2019 WWE moment.
Yep.
I'm not talking NXT. I'm talking, Raw, or even let's say 2017 to 2019. NXT was prime. It was incredible. It was exciting. So we had the Wii. The Wii U came out. The Wii U sold almost 14% of that volume, 14 million units. And they're like, that's it. Nintendo's done. Nintendo's done. And what do they come out with? The damn Switch, which is on trajectory to outsell the best-selling video game console of all time, the PlayStation 2. All right. So yes, it is tough going up against a big dog, even though they shouldn't be technically going, but they are in the same market. And despite what anyone says, Tony was going in there to start his own brand. He was going to have to compete with him in one way or another. And I don't care what any fanboy on the WWE side said when Vince and Triple H were like, oh, we're not. They absolutely were competing. They wanted to be the top dog. They've been the top dog. They don't want competition. End of story. Triple H has definitely shown it differently with the whole TNA, Jordan Grace thing recently. Or even before that, Mickie James, when they're both Knockouts champions. So people want the company to fold. They want all this talent to go over to WWE. Now, that would be, imagine Invasion 2.0. Despite what talent you like, what talent you don't like, let's throw the Elite. The Elite are going to be a top team that they're going to want to grab. They're going to want to grab Kenny Omega. They're going to want to grab probably Orange Cassidy. There is some market value to that man, surprisingly, for people who don't like him. There's a lot of other talent that they like. Now, the MJF. Okay, MJF was the talking point. So, if tomorrow WWE bought AEW and they got in all this talent, WWE is a great product right now. I haven't been able to watch it. It is a lot of content hourly on television, but it's great. They got the pay-per-views down pat. WrestleMania was incredible despite the fact that I was there. They got a lot going on right now. Definitely need to work some kinks out, need to work out the roster, but it's great. So now if you were to pull in AEW talent, and some of this talent's top talent, no joke about it, there are going to be sacrifices made. I'm going to read this and we're going to get into this, and Ethan, you're going to give me your thoughts as well, but I think we're probably in line. So the guy I follow on Instagram, the PWW.
Oh, fuck, not those guys.
Well, the guy made this post. Usually want wrestlers to see his top stars go to the top wrestling promotions, and no doubt in my mind, MJF will one day main event WrestleMania. Since the bidding war started for his contract, I thought it would be smart for MJF to go to WWE. Now that Triple H is in charge making a bunch of top stars, I think it's smart for MJF to stay into AEW for the time being because 800K people who watch AEW knows him, but he could quickly get lost in the shuffle with the WWE's bloated roster. Yeah. My response simply, I think the key here is your statement about getting lost in the shuffle because he comes in who gets pushed to the bottom. Or do we get these bloated 13-match cards again? I said with Triple H at the helm, I don't see the bloated card happening, but either he gets lost in the shuffle or someone else in the upper mid-card does. And MJF's one talent. Just one talent. So keep in mind, when WCW closed, there's a bunch of other great talent out there that just got thrown away. Whether you like them or not, mid-card, upper card, lower card. Same with WWE. I bet you they took Booker T. Booker T's top talent, obviously. Before that, you got the Radicals, right? Am I saying that right?
Yeah, the Radicals, yeah.
Yeah, Eddie Guerrero, they came over. Chris Jericho came over. All these guys came over.
Rey Mysterio.
Yeah, Rey Mysterio.
Well, he came later, but still.
Yeah. So my logically thinking, there's so many people, Ricky Starks needs to go. This person needs to go. That person needs to go. Ethan Page just showed up too, the same day as Jordan Grace.
That was awesome.
It was awesome. I love Ethan Page. The North is one of the best tag teams TNA has had, hands down. Ethan Page is a great mic worker. He doesn't get enough love, man. But let me explain something. Like, why? What is the thought process? And anyone can comment in this video below. I don't think there's any rationale for this company to close just for all the good talent to go over there and work with their good talent.
The real Forbidden Door.
Let me tell you, if those two companies, I mean, I don't know as much history of Japanese wrestling as you do, Ethan, but I bet you there was a time where somebody goes, if you went into the past and told somebody, hey, there's going to be events where New Japan, All Japan, Pro Wrestling, they're all going to work together on shows someday.
Nope.
Yeah, I bet you people. So if somebody did that now and was like, "Hey, AEW and WWE, they're gonna work together. The industry's gonna bloom with both of them."
Yeah.
Almost laughable.
Well, it's funny because I remember like years ago, like way like in the 80s, stuff like Vince worked with New Japan for a bit, like with that partnership, like in the 80s or whatever. And he's like, well, you know Finn. Everybody knows Finn's. Fuck. You do not want to work with anybody. But now it's like, it's funny because that's the third time now we had a TNA person. Well, Jordan Grace twice, but you know what I'm trying to say there.
Yeah.
I love how they're just acknowledging the knockouts champion. Like Mickey James did in 20 when she was back then when it was Impact and Jordan Grace. I'll be honest, Jordan Grace was excellent. She was my MVP in that women's Rumble match. She looked better than half the women in that Rumble. I'm just gonna be honest there. Honestly, if her TNA contract comes, it does resign, she would be an easy fit in WWE.
Oh yeah, no, she'd be great.
And it was also funny. Ethan Page went, Fake Joe was like, he was with AE and Booker T, cut him right off before he got a chance to say W. I'm like, you should just let him finish saying W. But he went on Twitter next day, said he wasn't signed, but we all know he's signed. He's just trying to kayfabe it.
Yeah, I mean, it could be like a James Storm kind of thing, where James Storm showed up for like one house show, and then nothing happened after that. Highly doubt it if he showed up on TV right away. I think it's very detrimental that this company stays alive. And I know people are like, well, you're an AEW fanboy. I prefer, honestly, I was thinking about it today and yesterday. The reason I watch AEW, I mean, I've been watching it for a while at this point. Yes, WWE's been around longer. There's so much more television to watch with WWE. And I don't know. There's something about the production value where I feel like at times I watch WWE television and it's like overproduced, where you're just like, this is too polished. In AEW, yes, it has its moments like this. I think this week they went to go show a video or go to an interview and they went to the wrong vignette.
Oh yeah. Okay, so I'm glad you brought this up. So they were talking about the Moxley to catch the match, and that guy was like, "Oops, I meant to go to Stephanie Fakir." By the way, she's a badass. Stephanie Fakir, she's Stephanie 3 belts, possibly gonna be 4 if they do the title match. And it's like they must have had an off night last night or Wednesday's just drummed the more probably. Like Excalibur called Okada the international champion. First he said TNT champion, then he said international title. He said it twice, by the way. I'm like, dude, that's the Continental title. you know what's really bad. You have too many titles when even your own commentary team's fucking up the title names.
Yeah. I was shocked because they're usually on point with the titles. I've seen them mess up the names. Yeah, it was a slightly off, but I thought there was some good content in last night's episode. I'm more of and again, I'm saying this from my point of view. All right. I think there's definitely some logical points that need to be taken here. I definitely think there's going to be some personal opinions taken here. So I think if we were to lose AEW, and this isn't saying Triple H is going to turn to Vince McMahon tomorrow, we lose a spot for wrestling to be in the spotlight. 1, 2. That's less where this talent can shine their light. It's like, well, if you're not in WWE, it doesn't matter because there's a lot of and granted, WWE has a lot of clout when you're at that company. There are people who've never made it to the main roster who seem to show up in AEW. Oh, it's a WWE guy. Yeah, for like a year. He was in WWE and NXT for a year. That doesn't make him a WWE guy.
That makes me an NXT guy.
Technically, if we want to play that game, how much of the main roster of WWE is our Ring of Honor guys?
A lot of them. Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, AJ Styles, Samoa Joe when he was there.
Seth Rollins.
Cesaro when he was in WWE.
Yeah. There's a point I was going to make with this. I totally blanked on this.
Steve Corino.
But man, yes, maybe the product isn't like polished and as shined up as you want it to be, man. But it's still a good time. You know what? Some of this talent, they do have this is another thing. There's a lot of reason. And WWE still doesn't sound like the shining light that it is. They're very polished. Very polished. There's pros and cons to that. a lot of the talent, even Adam Copeland has said that he has so much freedom working in AEW.
Yeah. Well, I forget what he's one of the first few interviews he said he's like pretty much like 90% of our AEW roster I haven't wrestled, and he's like, I don't want to be this guy that goes every 3 months. That's why a lot of his stories in the review went almost a year, like the one with Rollins. I mean, don't get me wrong, those two, him and the Rollins and Balor feud were great, but even after a while, I'm like, all right, let's like wrap this shit up soon, please. Like, it's kind
Well,
of
yeah,
getting tiring.
that was a thing for a while with Vince. I mean, I always reference, and you remember this, and everyone else remembers this. 2017 was the summer of Jinder, and I feel like half the matches Jinder Mahal had, and we talked about this already.
Sucked.
They were with like the same. It was like the same people. The only people that got away with it during WWE's down period of having the same matches over and over and over again and being awesome, the New Day and the Usos.
Yep.
I would, Ethan, if you were on this, if we had a podcast going in 2017, I bet you and Scott and myself would say the best match of the past like 3 or 4 pay-per-views has been the Usos and New Day.
Yep. One sec. I'll tell you my top 10 matches from 2017. Hold on.
Oh, sweet.
I'm glad you brought up 2017. I'm like, I think I have my list in 20. Hold on. You just wait one sec. But yeah, New Day and Usos. I mean, that was the best feud there. Oh crap, I don't have it. Fuck. I have 2018. You want to give me top 10 2018?
Go for it. 2018 was still a rough year too.
All right. So top 10, I'll go super quick. So number 10 from G1, Kenny Omega versus Kota Ibushi from B Block. Number 9 was Gold Lovers versus Young Bucks from Strong Style Evolved. That was like their first many of US shows. Speaking of G1, day 19, August 12th was Hiroshi Tanahashi versus Kota Ibushi in the finals. A lot of Kenny Omega, by the way. Number 7, Cody versus Kenny Omega on Supercard Honor, April 7th. Number 6, Johnny Gargano versus Tommaso Ciampa in Chicago Street Fight from TakeOver Chicago. That was an excellent feud, by the way, between those two. And speaking of Styles and Nakamura, we had their last week's day match with WWE back in Money in the Bank on June 17th. Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa was number 4 at NXT New Orleans, April 7th. Triple threat TLC match for the SmackDown Women's title. Remember the SmackDown Raw Women's title, Sam? Becky Lynch defends Charlotte and Asuka. Number 2 was the IWGP Heavyweight title in a 2-on-3 falls match, Okada and Omega on June 9th from Dominion. Speaking of Dominion, Sam. And number 1, Kenny Omega versus Chris Jericho in the no DQ match from Wrestle Kingdom January 4th. Do you notice how many WWE matches I just listed from my top 10 in 2018? Like 3 or 4. And they came from NXT.
Mm-hmm.
One main roster. That's sad.
NXT during that time
Felt like an indie. That felt like Ring of Honor.
That felt like Ring of Honor, but despite being the developmental, that was the best brand. That was the best, dude. There was every takeover. Scott and I go back and forth like they can't top this one. They can't top this one, and they did it every single time. Like that was better than the last one, all the time. And then once Adam Cole joined, forget it.
Mm-hmm.
Adam Cole, Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa, Keith Lee. Like you can go on and on during that period of what was fire.
Dijak.
Yeah, all of them. But
it's just like I like all like I get like if you're not a big fan, whatever, that's your opinion. Like I'm not gonna try like basically trash it, but like you don't got to be an arrogant prick about it. Basically,
yeah, that's the problem I'm having here. I know a lot of people are gonna be like and spend the next like 13 hours.
You're a show. You're an AEW show. You're a WWE show. In the words of Sam, like my nuts.
Yeah, exactly. I grew. Okay, to clarify something, maybe this is why I don't mind. There are bands out. I'm a metalhead. So I don't know if that's ever been said on this show, but I am. Ethan is. I love all types of metal. All right, but I don't sit there and crap on the metal bands who aren't headlining stadiums like Metallica. I'm not going, if you're not a Metallica, you're not a metal band. That's stupid. You're an idiot.
Well, that's like I like Killswitch Engage, like Howard. I'll be honest, one of the best metal vocalists ever. Like not count like Ozzy Osbourne, Judas Priest, all like basically like in the last like 10 years. One of the best singers of all time. And people are like, "Oh, they're not metal." Well, are you fucking deaf? Like, yeah, he is.
Oh, not that this is a conversation we could have for another day about metalheads. But like
Yeah, I
we
know.
can go, but like Kill Switch Engage is a good example. I just saw one of my favorite bands, Periphery. They played down at Janus in St. Petersburg. You don't look at these bands and go, well, they're not making it because they're not headlining arenas or stadiums. No, I love these bands. These bands are awesome. And even if they're in smaller venues, that's the thing. That's what kills me. There are metalheads out there that hate going to big venues. Hate going to big venues. Love being in small venues. Love being where they can be in a pit and they can pretty much shake the lead singer's hand or whatnot. And then we go to wrestling. It's like, well, if you're playing in a bingo hall, you're not making it. I go, are you mental? Yes, you're mental.
Well, look at GCW.
Exactly. And
They went to the ballroom for God's sake. I mean, the show. I'll be honest, it wasn't all that great, but it's cool that they got to do the ballroom. Hammerstein Ballroom. That's what I was looking for. But like they do like Atlantic City. They went to Cork and Hall for the first time last summer. How many indie promotions can say that? North American indies, I should say, to clarify. Not that many. And they're going back to in August with DDT. Like House of
right.
Glory. I like House of Glory, but they can't say that. Like I like all wrestling, but it's just like GCW is like probably like the top one. But
And
I
I've been to GCW, and there's something about being at those smaller shows sometimes that are just fun. They're
I was gonna say
awesome.
you've been in GCW, you would know.
I've been twice. And I know the comeback to Tampa, I wasn't able to go. And I think they're doing another. The timing, I want to go again. It's so much fun. But like, even when the shows are something bad happens, man, dude, if you don't like something, don't watch it.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
This is my biggest gripe about society. We can talk about societal norms. We have this big gripe where people like to talk about crap and things they hate. And for some reason that gets clicks. And that's the society we live in. And I really feel like that it reflects on who we are as people.
Yep.
There are definitely things that we're always going to hate, or we're always going to be like, I need to get this off my chest. This was garbage for one reason or another, whether it was a video game, whether it was a movie, whether it was an experience, whether for one reason, you have absolutely every right to be that way about something. But you don't, if that's your personality, you got no personality. You being a miserable prick does not make you an interesting person. Period.
Like if you hate the program, if you hate AEW and stuff, like don't fucking watch it. Okay, like fine, like so, like I know I was technically negative on Takeshi and Moxley, but obviously I wasn't the only one. But even my argument wasn't really all that negative, I guess.
Well, that's different. You had a critique and you were really in that particular case. I mean, that was like a match, and again, you're just like I'm going to tell you this right now. This is BS. This is why this should have been this way. I think you did it, and you know what? Again, you're not coming on the show and you're going to go,
Fuck AEW.
I'm going to screw FAV, screw AEW. This was garbage, and then like come on the show every single time. Like, imagine if we did that with New Japan. And granted, New Japan has kind of with the talent that's changing, it's definitely not where it was, but it's definitely still way above par, I think.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But we're able to have that conversation where we're going, yeah, I didn't really like this. I wish it was kind of like this, or I wish this person was back. And that's another thing. People go back to, leave companies all the time for one reason or another. People, one thing we need to stop doing, and I'm gonna use him as an example. Jon Moxley's not going back to WWE because you liked him better in WWE.
He ain't going, but I mean, I could maybe like I don't know, like the wrestler's quote, "Never say never." But honestly, I think he's one dude that shouldn't go back.
But that's the thing. People, and I don't know if they don't pay attention, but they're like, oh, he should go back. He was way better. He did such a good job. And I'm like, I think and I agree with you, Ethan, but past that, whether he has a good relationship with Triple H or not, there's going to be something in his head that goes, I have no desire to go back.
No.
Sting's a good example too. Sting's a great example. That man didn't even come to WWE during the invasion.
No, he was still on this Turner contract, getting paid, sitting at home.
We didn't see Sting in WWE until what, 2015?
14 at Survivor Series, because that's how they set up the match with Triple H at WrestleMania. By the way, I still say Sting should have won that one.
Oh, that's a given. Sting definitely should have. Yeah, no, there's so much, and I understand that everyone can look up all this information, but man, people aren't going back to promotions because you want them to. There are certain people I would like to see back in certain places or work with certain people. Hell, I grew up where where we had an opportunity to see every member of Pink Floyd come back and reunite. They did at Live 8 in like 2006. 2005. And I wanted more Pink Floyd and this and that. Granted, they're also old. That's another thing. Some of these people are old. But some people don't work together. Some people don't. Again, the CM Punk thing. We're going to talk about this for a second. This isn't about CM Punk. This is just about the situation. I did not think CM Punk would ever go back to WWE because he had some bad beef. Now, whether he cleared that up or not, I don't know. But he went back.
Oh, yeah.
Cool. Is there a chance he would not have gone back? Yeah. And what would have he done if he didn't go back? And now I bet you there's people who are like, oh, he should have never left AEW because he's going to be a nobody over there. I mean, he's injured again. He's very accident prone.
Oh, fuck. I love Drew. By the way, Drew trolling him is so goddamn funny. By the way, did you see that clip? Speaking of Drew, real quick, did you see that clip where Tama Tonga is like making those weird sounds? I was like Donnie from the Rugrats. And Drew literally quotes somebody that had shared that video. He's like, guys, I thought we promised not to feed Tom after 8 p.m. I'm like, put that belt on Drew. But, like, I mean, like, I know I was kind of dickish at Survivor Series review. I mean, call him a hypocrite. But, I mean, I'm not fully wrong because he literally, like, I know we all talk about Cody going back. But here's the difference. Like, I know Cody took a couple shots at WWE during his AEW, which, let's be honest, half the AEW roster is pretty much done.
Mm-hmm.
We all have. But Punk, like, he wasn't, like, Cody wasn't going on, like, pie and calling him, like, doofus son-in-law and other shit, right? But money talks.
Yeah, money talks.
I don't know why I did that. I'm just, yeah.
No, we're just ranting. We're just ranting, Ethan. There's, I don't know. I think my biggest gripe isn't with the wrestling itself these days. It's the IWC, and it's the people who just don't like it. You know, I think it's a societal thing. It's the one thing that we like about you, Ethan. I mean, you watch so much of it, and even if you didn't, I know for a fact that you'd be like, yeah, this was okay. I didn't like that, but you know what? There was this other really cool thing we need to like look at because this was so much fun. You like the fun aspect of it. You know, you grew up watching it. I was younger too. I remember being little and being like, oh, they were Supermen.
Yeah.
They were Supermen. I remember when I was growing up, my brother had he still has it, the Hulk Hogan wrestling buddy.
Oh, God. I don't remember those.
And we had the Hulk Hogan wrestling buddy, and he had some action. He had Jake the Snake. He had Roddy Piper. He had Hulk Hogan. They just looked like Supermen. And these were like real-life comic book characters, cartoon characters. Now we know why. It was all the steroids. But
I was waiting for that line to come up.
But we just want to have fun, man. I mean, why are you watching something if you don't want to have fun?
Well, just look at, sorry, Sam. Just look at Dynamite real quick. Like the first hour, like it wasn't bad, but like if you missed the first hour, like yeah, you didn't really miss much. But I thought like the Casino Gala main event last night, like I enjoyed the shit out of it. I thought that was fun.
Oh yeah. There was a couple other I can't recall right now. There's been a couple other things, and it's starting to feel like I said, it's starting to feel like Ring of Honor when it was starting to make its way up. Again, I remember watching Ring of Honor TV. Ring of Honor TV, there were definitely times you're just like, All right, cool. Didn't need that. And other times you're like, this was awesome. But it was always an experience. Ring of Honor was just, I went to a couple of the War of the Worlds Global World War show during
Aw,
2017,
the
2018.
original Forbidden Door.
I remember going there, and actually, Ethan, I have it. I have a photo. The first time I went, I showed up. Wait a minute, was this 2017?
They did a few because I know. Well, regular New Japan, they were partners. They did
I'm
a lot. They did a lot of those War of the World / Global War. They kept changing the name, which was weird. It's like, guys, just pick a name and stick with it.
Yeah, no, I'm just trying to remember the one I saw. Long story short, I went to one before AEW and after All In, and I got a photo with Cody Brandy, and Cody had the U.S. title at that time, and I'm
Oh
holding the
yes,
belt.
me and you were talking about that because I got super jealous. I was like, ah, fuck, yeah, because
Um,
that's when he had the NWA. No, that was before. Never mind. Sorry, disregard.
yeah, so I got that. The first time I went, dude, I was telling this to somebody. The first time I went to a Ring of Honor show, there was a triple threat match. I forgot if there was a title on the line or not. It was Cody. Wait, was it Cody? Hold on. It might have been Cody, Chuck Taylor, and this young pudgy. Look, he wasn't pudgy, but he wasn't what he's now. Was a young Jay White when he was. I don't. Might have been just before he joined Chaos.
Oh yeah, he was on excursion. So I think that was before he went back to New Japan because they did that. As people like the joke, they call him the blade pervert
Mm-hmm.
or the knife pervert. Sorry, because he
I got.
came back go after Tanahashi.
Mm-hmm. And then I came back and I saw. There was one time I went, the building in Lowell, Mass. Went to the bathroom and they have all the signees there, and I realized that the signee at the end of the table, right next to the stairs going to the bathroom, was Naito.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Like, oh, you're like Cody or Naito? Like, I'm going to Cody. I'm like, you should have went with Naito.
Yeah, yeah. So it's there's that's the fun stuff I like to think about. That's and especially now, kind of hopping back. Ratings aren't like as important. They are, but they aren't. And I'll tell you right now, I don't know how many television. Look, they're not great, but what did AEW do this week? Where do they fall in the ratings? Let's talk ratings quickly. AEW Dynamite ratings.
Somewhere.
Well, we're gonna. I want to pull this out quickly. There's a point I'm trying to make. Um, AEW ratings up for Double or Nothing Fallout. It averaged 787,000 views, 10.4% last week, up from last week. We are also in playoff season with
Yeah.
hockey and NBA. It did go head to head with NHL Western Conference Final and TNT. Where I'm looking to see.
Oh shoot. Oh shit, where'd that article go? I was trying to find an article. They were talking about TK was talking about some about going to 3 hour blocks. Did you see that?
Oh, I did see that.
Or he would mine. I honestly I please no. I got burnt out just watching Rampage after Collision or Dynamite there those few weeks where they were doing the 3 hour blocks. And by anybody who still watches Rampage, it's on tomorrow, Friday night at 6:30 Eastern.
I will say they need to cut down something. I'm thinking Collision probably, even with CM Punk, I don't care what anyone says. There's just to put another 2 hour show, especially on the weekend. Who posts this? It's Reddit. Reddit does.
Fucking Reddit.
That was 6 months ago.
Oh, beautiful Reddit.
I want the most recent Reddit rating. Well, Reddit has the actual screenshot from Nielsen.
I always go by WrestleNomics too.
Where is... Oh, WrestleNomics. That's what came up. I wanted to compare it to pretty much where it closed at the end of the day.
You
Like,
probably won't get those till tomorrow. I could be way wrong.
yeah, because I know sometimes, even though they're 700,000, they're still in like the top 20 programs of the night. Which, Ethan, I don't know about you, but how many TV stations are there now?
Too many to count.
And how many people watched live television now?
Too many.
Minus sports.
Yeah.
I don't know many people that watch live television unless it's news or sports.
I sometimes do like wrestling. I do, or like if I really want to watch the show.
But that's what I'm
But
talking about. Wrestling is like the one. That's why I have Hulu TV.
I saw cable.
Yeah, I wasn't paying for cable. I don't watch live television because I'm
So-
like everyone else.
Here's the fucked up part for a second. So Dynamite's on TNT and sometimes TBS and sometimes TNT if sports happens. So anybody in Canada, it's TSN. But like the actual channel. But Rampage and Collision are on TSN Plus. What the fuck? Unless they're in Canada, then they go on TSN, like the main channels. But like I even because I think you guys were asking me that. I'm like, yeah, no, I had to pay for some streaming service to go. But unless it's in Canada, then they put on the actual channel. It's like, bro, fuck it. You know what, TK? Since you like titles, fucking bring a TSN title. I don't know.
It's funny. I was just watching something. We're getting a little off the rails, but I was reading something. I don't know about in Canada, but in the States, it's like Disney, Paramount, and another streaming service are going to bundle their streams together.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I did see that. It was Disney Plus.
Was that Apple TV?
Somebody said Netflix, but I don't think it's Netflix.
But think about that. Now we're bundling streaming services, so we've just gone back to cable.
Yeah.
At some point, you'll be able to buy them all in a bundle, and it'll be like some set price. Like, oh, it's just cable with
Ta-da.
more steps.
Right.
Um,
I know a lot of people who are watching stream. By the way, how did you watch Double or Nothing? Did you watch on Bleacher or did you watch on Thriller?
I watch it on Bleacher because that's where they advertise it.
Did you get a survey?
Maybe, I don't know.
Okay, the reason I ask is, there's a few wrestling pod I follow, and well, I mentioned them on the pick that I saw, but I also have friends who watch Bleacher Report, and some of them are like you say, like they rarely ever have issues. There's other times for like I can't even watch the fucking show. I'm telling like I gotta go on YouTube and stuff. So remember when Dynasty went to shit on Bleacher, and
Yep.
then they had to do emergency on Thriller and stuff. So I had a few friends who bought off Bleacher, and they were having issues. They're like first time they ever, and like some of them had like kind of like it would delay a couple seconds, like the audio. And some were like, it would like glitch out and stuff. And he's like, whatever. So anyway, so basically they sent a survey and then they're like, yeah, here, we're sorry. Here's a credit. He's like, no, fuck no. I'm going to like YouTube TV and Thriller before we know it's Fight TV and stuff. But like, I just wait for free streams. I'm just going to be honest.
They need to, this is the thing, and I don't know the logistics financially about it. I don't know if they make more money if they go on a streaming service straight. I know they're not WWE. WWE makes money because they do have a name. But I don't know like how that plays into like talent and everything, or if it's just one of those, it goes right to the, I don't know the financial logistics of it.
Well, I mean, just think about it first. Like, Raw's going to Netflix in January. NWA's on the CW app somehow. Actually, I know why, but we talked about it. I'm not going to talk about it anymore. Basically, if you've seen the James Mitchell spot, you know what I'm talking about. WWE's got a show called Speed on Twitter every or sorry, X. You know what? Fuck it. It's Twitter. Fuck X. It's Twitter. They do Speed. I don't know if you ever seen that, Sam, on Wednesdays afternoon.
I was there for the taping during SmackDown before Mania, but I haven't actually watched it.
Okay, so basically, if anybody who hasn't watched or haven't seen it, so basically, Speed they do 3-minute matches, and then Ricochet's the current Speed champion. And by the way, people keep bugging why he doesn't bring the title on TV. It's because they're exclusive to Twitter only, like the Speed show is. So okay, I mean you should bring it out, but whatever, still. So and then basically, if you face a champion, it's 5-minute time limit draw. 5-minute time limit. It's like okay, I can see why like they're trying to change it, but like I don't know. I thought since we're talking about streaming service stuff, I figured I'd bring that up. But like WWE's going to Netflix soon. I mean, honestly, AEW should just go to HBO Max.
Yeah, and I keep reading. There's so much about the deal that's supposed to be coming through, and I don't know. Supposed to be Tony Khan's upset, but I also heard that Tony Khan's not upset, and I heard that there's a deal. It sounds like they're still in talks. It's not like deals have fallen through yet.
No,
I just hope we find out. Look at the least I want from AEW. I want them to keep, even if it's like, hey, we can't do 5 hours, which I think would be kind of asinine because they just started that show on YouTube.
Dark Elevation, dude.
No, the one with the food.
Oh, match him. Oh shit, match meal.
Something like
It's
that.
on. It's on the TBS. It's not even on the actual AEW channel. But I did watch it with Eddie Kingston. Fucking funny. If you guys haven't watched it, watch that one just with Eddie Kingston alone. Where they asked him how he picked up a girl, and he's like, "Oh, I wish I wrote the quote down because it was so fun." And Ortiz retweeted him. He's like, "That's verified. I was there with them when he said that." Oh, he likes girls. That's what he said. I like girls.
Oh,
I'm like, Eddie.
so yeah, so we got that now. I don't see them not. I mean, granted, YouTube's different, but if they said, "Hey, we're gonna put this on here," they must be still dishing. Warner must love AEW if they're
Yeah.
allowing them to have 5 hours of television, putting stuff on their YouTube, sponsoring it. I'd be surprised if they don't walk away with the deal at this point.
Is there a deal? I can't talk. Is there a deal up in July?
December. Wait a minute. Hold on.
I don't know. Someone said July. Someone said September. Somebody said December.
All right, going to YouTube. YouTube. You know what I meant.
Good old YouTube TV. A lot of, by the way, a lot of Japanese wrestling are starting to do that too. They're starting to go on like streaming platforms and YouTube subscriptions. Memberships, sorry, not subscriptions.
It's usually easier, cheaper. Let's see this article. It's by SE Scoops.
I find they're pretty what's what I'm looking for?
Reliable.
Yes. They're one of like 5 that I can actually like trust. Like them, PW Insider, PW Torch, Fightful, Post Wrestling. They're not. I didn't get paid. I wish, but those ones I can actually be like, all right, I can believe them.
I just can't find. All it says is they're exiting their exclusive negotiation window. This was back on the 5th of April. I can't seem to find. It just says that the deal. Oh, wait. TJRWrestling.net from September 22nd.
Not a good reliable source.
What?
Not a good reliable source.
AEW deals with Warner Brothers Discovery expires on December 31st, 24.
Okay, that's not okay. So close.
So worst case scenario, I want Tony to walk. Tony, if you're listening to this, because I know you listen to some two gentlemen who have no expertise in the business, giving you advice. I just want Dynamite and I want my pay-per-views on Max.
Yes, I do not want to pay $50.
That's all we want. So this is, yeah, that's my thoughts there. But hopefully we get this deal. What am I trying to say here? Guys, just enjoy what you like. And you know what? Just because the AEW talent's not going to WWE and vice versa doesn't necessarily a bad thing. Like, again, enjoy it. It's professional wrestling. If we ever lose AEW, honestly, I don't see myself watching WWE full time. I might end up being an NXT guy and watching NXT.
I will say NXT, like, I mean, you heard me and Scott bitch about the 2.0, the Nickelodeon arena.
Oh yeah.
We're not the only ones, but everybody's bitched about that era. I kind of like to forget about that. Anyway, I mean, NXT's been. I mean, they got a great They got a women's North American top. We finally get a singles women's title. Wish it was the main roster, but whatever. By the way, they're gonna crown a new champion at Battleground. Sexy Red was on there. She's some rapper. To be honest, I never heard. But honestly, she was pretty good on there. I wouldn't mind seeing her as a manager, like full time. NXT's been. I mean, Ethan Page. I will say though, I hate when they announce like, oh, they might show up, and then, but no one knew about Jordan Grace or Ethan Page showing up. So I love that. I was glad that.
Yeah. But that's my rant. That's my thoughts, guys. I'm just man, enjoy what you like. If you don't like it, stop watching. I'm not gonna go and start watching another promotion because that's what's left and I don't like it.
Same, like I don't watch NWA. There, prime example.
Because NWA when they started Power, like just before COVID, Scott and I were gung ho.
Yeah, I was watching it too. And then when COVID, like when it came, like I thought when Aldous and Ricky Starks on left, like I was just like, eh. I mean, don't get me wrong, they got some great talent there. Like Colby Carino, the son of Steve Carino, he's on there. I remember he was signed to WWE, and then like they didn't bring him on TV. I'm like, what are you doing? They were freezing contracts. Remember the good old days of freezing contracts?
Yeah.
Or sorry, signing new talents. That's what I meant to say. Like they were good. Actually, speaking of the NWA, EC3 was at an All Japan show yesterday.
Oh, there's a name I haven't heard in a while.
He's their world champion because he beat Tyrus in that shitty Bulwark match last year.
Speaking about WWE utilizing all the good talent that they have, what's Davey Boy Smith Jr. doing right now?
He was in All Japan doing their Champion Carnival tournament.
Did they release him?
Yeah, he got. Okay, so here's the weird part. Do you remember when they brought fans back in Money in the Bank?
Yep.
Or sorry, before Money in the Bank. So he had a dark match, and they said he was signed. Never used him. They used him for one dark match, and then that was it. And then now he's doing MLW. He's doing blood. He's actually doing Bloodsport. At the end of June, he's facing Matsukatsu Funagi. That I'm pretty excited. That Bloodsport, by the way. I'll talk about. Do you remember when you watched Dynamite last night, right? Stupid question, but
yes,
you want. Yeah, okay. My brain's got spasms ago. So remember when Moxley said he had this match at Sumo Hall?
Yep.
That's why, because they're doing Bloodsport in Japan this year, like in June. And then, by the way, Josh Barnett's getting our Bloodsport show coming in July. But Moxley's facing Barnett in the main event of that Sumo Hall Bloodsport show.
All right. That sounds like a banger. I'm looking at it now. Wow, he got released quietly at the end of 21.
Yep.
How did I fucking miss that? I was paying attention because I was waiting because he just was everywhere and then he was nowhere.
I know. Honestly, I thought he's way better outside of the, to be honest with you. I mean, like the Killer Elite Squad run and no one New Japan years ago. The MLW run that's been hit and miss. I'm just gonna be honest. The Bloodsport stuff, like, and then he was in All Japan this year. He was in their champion card, but he got 10 points. So I mean, for his first champion card, well, that's pretty good for your first time in the. That's their version of G1, by the way. If anybody's like, what's the champion carnival? It's All Japan's version of G1 Climax.
All right.
And this coming from a guy who watches a lot of wrestling, so.
Well, that's good to know. That is good to know. Well, that's my rant. That's what I got for you guys. 2024, we're going into June. Well, when is this?
We got one more day of May, and then it's gonna be June. Saturday's the first day of June.
You know what? Let's kick June off with this episode. I'm saying this, and they're gonna listen to it. It's like, why they end the episode like that? Because I can. It's a free country. I don't know what you're talking about.
By the way, guys, right quick, Sam. So when Shiro Umino come out, don't chant shooter because let's be honest, in the States, we know what happens, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's. I'm not against it, but I also understand that certain people are going to take it the wrong way. So, yeah.
I want you to try to be funny. I know that I sound like a smart ass, but like I heard stories in the States, so I mean we all have, but still, don't chant shooter. That's all I'm saying.
What's it called? Know your audience. Know your audience.
Know your audience. Yes.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening. If you don't already do so, please follow us on X Above the Ring in Bedlam Media. You can find myself as the SOB official and Ethan as wrestling_fan_9. I almost said Scott because I'm just used to him and I. You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, leave a review. Tell people why Above the Ring in Bedlam Media is a podcast of your choosing, why they should listen to us as well. Thank you so much for listening, guys. And as always, do not forget to join the Bedlam.
Thanks, guys.